In today's video, we're going to be doing a walkthrough of my basement fish room. We're going to be giving an update on all of my aquariums, let you know what's going on with all of them, as well as going over a lot of future plans like Troy talked about in the previous video, kind of phase 2 for Cichlid Bros, where we got a lot of exciting stuff happening, especially down here in this basement fish room. So I can't wait to get into all of it with you. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. So here we are coming down the stairs. Like I said, this is my basement. This is my main living space in my basement. So here it is. Oh, there it is. Give you kind of a whole tour here. This is kind of the side of the basement you never really see in videos. There's the stairs. Right here we have my kids' playroom. Here we just have a little desk and a mini fridge and an open wall. We'll talk about that later. Here is my storage room where keep a lot of fish stuff. We got my Python water changing system there. I got my 1-inch braided tubing with my large water pump for my big tank water changes, and there's just kind of some spare aquarium parts here. Really not very glamorous. It's just kind of where I keep a lot of stuff. So we'll come back out here. And then in here is my basement down here. I got my RODI system set up for my smaller aquariums with the shrimp and planet tank and dual sinks. So I'm able to run the RODI system at the same time as a water change. When I do my big water changes, I send the tube just right into this walk-in shower. So I don't even have to use the sink when I'm draining the tank. So that's pretty nice. So let's come on right back out here to the main living space. Got my big 220 here. We'll dive into that here in a second. And then here's kind of the main living area where we're surrounded by a bunch of little tanks. So I love to kind of chill and be surrounded by my tanks. So next, let's go ahead and take a dive into what's going on with the 220. All right, so here it is, my pride and joy, my 220-gallon custom aquarium made from Custom Aquariums, customaquariums.com. They made the tank, the canopy, the 36-inch stand, everything. I also partnered with Aqua Decor on the background here. One of my most common questions is, where did I get the background? It's Aqua Decor. I highly recommend it. It's actually absolutely amazing, and I'm just loving it. As far as the fish in here, my brother Troy just actually visited for the first time in a few months, actually since the first time we set up this tank, and he just really thought they have hit a growth spurt in the 3 months since we set this tank up. It's kind of hard to tell for me since, you know, I'm around them all the time, but I definitely know these guys are huge, especially my favorite guy here, the Malawi Hawk. I actually have 2 Malawi Hawks in here. One of my OGs from when I bought a bunch of 1-inch fry. That is my smaller of the 2 Malawi Hawks. There's the big one here, and there's the smaller one up there. This is another one of my OGs, the Nimbochromis futswotaniatus. He's one of my bigger bosses. He's one of the fish that kind of takes turns being the boss in this tank. But for the most part, he's a relatively peaceful fish. All of these guys are doing a great job as far as not being too aggressive. I did lose an eye biter recently, and he was probably my most aggressive fish. My second most aggressive fish is kind of surprising. It's the tangerine tiger, which is not known to be aggressive. Here he is here, but he likes to chase everybody out of this little corner down here. One guy I cannot wait to color up is the Buccochromis norditania. Here's probably the biggest fish I got, the longest at least, is the Malawi trout right here. He's probably about a foot long. He's just a little, not as tall bodied as the Malawi Hawk, so makes the Malawi Hawk look a lot bigger than the Malawi trout. My potential biggest fish someday is the Tyrannochromis nigerventer right here. He's one of my newer fish, so he's still growing. He's about 7 inches at this point. I did just get 3 brand new fish from Ron's Cichlids that are looking amazing in this tank already. I got an electric blue Ali or iceberg fryer eye. I have a deep water hap, if you can see back here in the corner. He's full color, but they're kind of a smaller hap, more common hap. But he's already holding his own, looking amazing right now. I do love the Dimediochromis family, so I've been missing my eye biter. I do got my, in the back, we have the Dimediochromis strigatus, which is one of my new fish that I just bought in this tank. And it's just doing fantastic. Everybody's doing really good. I got a lot of water flow in here, so the water is crystal clear and the fish are all healthy and eating and looking great. So let's go ahead and take a look at the equipment. First, let's take a look under the hood where I just installed my second FX6 to go along with my original FX6. So now this has a lot of good filtration. I love one feature from the Custom Aquariums stand, which is they provided the power strip attached to the top of the stand where you can plug everything up here to prevent any dripping and issues with electrical stuff. I've been trying to adjust because right now I'm getting so much circulation that it's kind of pushing a lot of my sand more over to the middle. So I'm gonna have to push some sand over to make it look a little bit better, but I think with my latest adjustment on the speed of the wave maker, that should do the trick. Here's one product I've been using lately. This is my water conditioner from Fritz. I bought it in the gallon because I got tired of running out of the little bottles of it, so that's been pretty convenient. I've been doing water changes with my smaller tanks with this little kind of lemonade container here, which has really made things a lot more convenient as well. One really cool feature also about the stand is they got the quiet close cabinets, which I absolutely love. All right, so let's take a look on top where I got my handy dandy Amazon step stool here. All right, here we got our Current USA satellite light here. Got blue and white lights. We got my extreme fish food. I love the canopy, how I can hide my food back here. I also got my microfiber cloth for all the splashing that happens constantly. Literally last night I was using this lid to dump food into the tank and one of the fish jumped up and knocked the lid out of my hands, spilling food everywhere. So that's the kind of stuff that I got to deal with. One last little overview of the 220, and let's move on to the next tank. Next up, we have somehow maybe the most popular aquarium we have. It is also the smallest aquarium we have, which is a 1 gallon cube from Aquarium. This is filterless. We did a YouTube short on this recently where I went over setting this up to make it to where I don't need to use a filter or any water movement. So I got floating plants, I got a little plant in the back there, I got chala wood, lava rock, and a moss ball. Water changes just every once in a while, not that frequently. It's nothing like once a week, it's more like once a month. The shrimp I have in here are thriving. I got a couple carbon rilly shrimp, which are Neocaridina, and they're pretty hardy. And so I just wanted to see if I could do it, and it definitely can be done. So love this tank. Move on down the line here. One of my new aquariums. This is probably my favorite scape ever that I've done, not including my 3D background because I didn't do that scape. But I did this whole scape myself with some Malaysian driftwood and some lava rock. And I got some Java fern, some Anubias, and I do have some floating plants trying to take hold in here too to try to help remove nitrates. The aquarium is really healthy. The plants are growing great, but I got some chili red rasboras and some clown killifish that like to hide a lot. The tank looks amazing. I love the scape. I love the island look, and I love the Carib Sea sand. Kind of a little different than I've used before, so pretty cool. Right below that is one of my favorite aquariums as well, which is another shrimp tank.
Coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew.
With floating plants, a nice little hang on the back. And I like to use different kinds of stone in all of my aquariums. And this is the smooth river stone. This has some Bloody Mary shrimp in here. I got about 7 or 8 of them left, and they're just huge and thriving. There's a ton of dead plant matter in here to eat, and I'll feed them every once in a while. And they really just kind of take care of themselves. They got some dwarf sage in there as well. The only negative with it is since it's kind of on the shelf of this stand, I can't get an algae scraper in there, and the ones that are magnetic don't really take anything off. So I've just kind of left that, which is not that great looking up close, but the shrimp do love to pick at it, so that's a positive, I guess. All right, now let's move forward to my favorite nano tank. This is a shrimp tank. I'm a cichlid guy, but I also absolutely love shrimp. I got the Asta 20 light on top. I got the same small hang on the back filter where I don't need a lot of filtration, just a little bit of mechanical in there. I got the intake sponge on it. I got the Amazon sword in the back. And I got the dragonstone pile kind of surrounding it. I got the Sawasser which shrimp absolutely love. I have a little Chinese algae eater in here, and you can see these little guys grazing. I just fed them. I got all Taiwan bees in here. These are all Caridina shrimp, blue bolts, black King Kongs, black Galaxy Pintos. They love hiding in the cracks and crevices and bushes and everything. I love it when they all come out though to eat, and this is just a really fun tank to have right next to my favorite seat. So let's move on to my last tank, which all I gotta do is turn right, and boom, here it is. I really love the Peninsula style aquarium, especially right next to my couch here. So this is a Fiji Cube 20 with all-in-one filtration. This was originally set up as a saltwater tank, which I had a lot of fun with, but you know, part of our journey in the hobby is finding out what we like the best, and I'm definitely liking freshwater best right now. So I definitely wanted to try my hand at a carpeted tank. So I went with dwarf hairgrass, and it's been set up for about 3 months now, and maybe 2. I got CO2 running, as you can see here. I got powerful Current USA planted light. I got fertilizer from Aquarium Co-op, and I'm still really struggling to get a carpet going. The one positive is I'm really loving these neon tetras. They're doing great in here. Really cool to watch their schooling behavior, and they're just huge and have great color, and it's actually a really nice tank. I just really wish the carpet would take off a little bit more, but we'll live with it for now. All right, so that's kind of an overview of all of my current tanks. So now let's go over what could be happening in the very near future. We'll start off with the main vantage point of the 220 here, and we'll just kind of rotate this way where I see a lot of space for opportunity.
It'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities.
So first of all, I'm gonna be moving this fridge to the other side of the 220, and I think I'm gonna be getting rid of this desk right here. If not, I'll just be moving it closer to the 220, which would open up this wall that is exactly 6 feet from corner to trim right there, which sounds perfect for a 6-foot aquarium that I can fit right there. We'll see, the details are still up in the air just a little bit. Let me know what you would do with 6 feet of space right there. Now, other possible future plans would be if I can show you this vantage point right here, where this is a 5-foot space.
Look at all this more space. So we do aerobics in here. So many activities.
That I was thinking about putting another larger aquarium right here. Maybe a 120. I really like the 4-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot footprint of a 120. And that I think would look really good right there. It would kind of be right when you walk in from the stairs of the basement, which right here. The only thing I'm not really sure of is a little bit of space. I do not like to see a little bit of space behind an aquarium when you walk into a room. So that's the only question. The other option would be over here, replacing one of my nano stand right here, where this is just under 4 feet. So that would kind of limit my tank size options. And it's also pretty far from my bathroom right over there where I do my water changes. It might be a little bit difficult to get a python all the way over here, and I might not be able to do as big of a tank as I would like. I do really like this setup right here, but I can't help but want a little bit bigger of a tank to fill this space up just a little bit more. One thing about my future plans for this basement, and I think for Cichlid Bros in general, is, like I said, we're just kind of leaning into what we're really enjoying the most in the hobby, and that for us is just living up to our name, Cichlid Bros. You know, I'm huge on African cichlids, but I do have a little bit of a desire to cross over to the New World side. I love Vieja, I love pike cichlids, I love firemouths, I love all monster fish like jaguars. So I'm really open to a lot of suggestions. If you guys have any, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will absolutely take them into advisement. And I can't wait to make those plans and decide where to go from here. But there's, as you can tell, a lot of exciting prospects that we could be using down here. So I can't wait. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which of my current tanks is your favorite setup, as well as any ideas you have for my future plans. I think it's about time to feed these guys. They're starting to splash behind me here, so I better get to it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.